Hey, what's up, everybody? I wanted to shoot this video for you because something came up the other day that I found really interesting. I was wrapping up a body comp for someone who's gotten amazing results, and they turned and looked at me and said, well, Pat, I've hit my goals. Like, I made it to where I wanted to be when I very first started working out. So my question is, what do I do now? Like, how do I maintain this? How do I stay here? How do I keep the results? And the simple answer is that in order to stay where you are, you got to keep doing whatever it took to get you there in the first place. It's kind of like the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, in this case, you want to keep those results, so you got to keep doing whatever it is that you were doing to get there in the first place. It's like, think of it like pro athletes, okay? You take guys like Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, these guys that are at the top of their game, okay? They lead the league in points and goals and assists. They're dynamic. They create plays out of nothing. They capitalize whenever they get an opening. But they work at this stuff every single day. They work out. They hit the gym. They eat clean. They get their rest. They take their supplements. They go to practice. They skate hard. They participate. They show up. They're committed. They're invested in the process. Can you imagine the coaches and trainers of these guys, Super Bowl MVPs, Stanley Cup MVP, World Series MVPs, whatever, being like, dude, you're done. You're good. You made it, right? You hit the target. You hit your goal. Just kick back and relax, bro. Like, go home. Skip the gym next year. Nah, don't come to practice. Don't bother coming to spring training. You're good, right? Of course not. Because they know that they have to continue doing those things in order to stay at the top of their game. Otherwise, they're eventually going to get overthrown by the next up-and-coming star, the next super rookie, right? They keep working just as hard or sometimes even harder in order to keep those results. It's the consistency through discipline that pro athletes put in and day out that keeps them at the top of their game. It's the understanding that even though they've made it, even though they're playing at the highest possible level and they're making a pile of money and they're getting all kinds of recognition and sponsorship deals and contracts and everything else, they know and understand that if they don't continue doing whatever it took to get them there, then they're going to regress. And then the dream goes away. It's kind of like growing a garden, right? You look out the window into your backyard one day and you think, man, I really don't like the way the yard looks. It's empty and barren and brown. And then you start thinking about how you're not eating enough vegetables and how we're really not self-sustained anymore. And you decide you want to do something good for the planet and eat a little bit better at the same time. So you decide you're going to plant a garden. Now, you know up front that it's going to be a lot of work, but the vision or the end goal, the end result is what drives you to get up and start digging and rototilling and planting. And then once that garden starts to grow, then you start maintaining it. So you go out every day and you water it and you fertilize it and you pluck the weeds and you check on the growth. You pay attention to it. Because if you don't pay attention to it, it withers and dies. And then you lose all of that effort that you put into building the garden in the first place. Well, your health and fitness really works the same way. You got to pay attention to it day in and day out. If you don't, even if you do somehow manage to make it to your goals in the first place, once you've hit those goals, if you don't continue paying attention to what got you there, you can end up doing a complete 360 and end right back up where you started, and that sucks. One of my favorite quotes kind of goes along this topic is by Scott Abel. Now, for those of you who don't know who Scott Abel is, he's a pro trainer, he's a best-selling author, he's got like a handful of degrees, he's trained pro athletes and celebrities all over the world. He's a super smart guy, okay? Anyways, one of my favorite quotes from Scott Abel is, what works isn't the sexy. What works is the boring, all right? And what he means by that is that it really doesn't matter what fancy new program you're doing or what new fad diet people are raving about or what crazy supplement just hit the market. All that stuff gets hyped up and billions of advertising dollars get spent in an effort to sell you on the sexy. You see all the ads and the pictures and the pro fitness models with their tight booties all over Instagram and the guys rocking six-pack abs year round that are like, buy this program, follow this diet, you can look like me, blah, blah, blah. But what they don't tell you is that it's not so much about the program or the plan that you're following, but rather it's about the consistency, the day in and day out discipline of getting up and paying attention to your garden, even on the days where you don't feel like it. It's not about the sexy, it's about the boring. It's about getting up every day, knowing what you have to do in order to reach that target or reach that goal, and then having the congruency to follow through on the actions that you know you're going to have to take in order to get there. Okay? So I really hope you guys stop to think about this and consider it in your day-to-day routine, because I know it's hard to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get to that 5:45 a.m. workout. It's hard to buy clean food and cook and prep and avoid temptations. It's hard to consistently make cosmetically friendly choices and decisions that are going to feed your body when we're surrounded by family and friends and work environments and everything else that don't necessarily have our best interests at heart. So you got to be committed to the cause. You got to see the long-term gain and believe in what the garden's going to look like after you put in the work and start reaping the benefits and rewards of looking better and feeling better and being more active with your kids, being a positive role model, having more energy, having more confidence, performing better at work, being a better wife or husband or parent or whatever it is, whatever your why is for having planted the garden in the first place. And if you can see those things, if you can project into what you want your future health and fitness to look like, and then actually take the daily steps in order to consistently feed and grow that garden, then you're going to find long-term success in all this. But it's really just about having the resiliency to get up and pay attention every single day. You want to keep your results? Then you got to keep doing whatever you did to get them in the first place. If you had to work out 4 times a week, chances are you're going to have to keep training 4 days a week. And if you had to eat 2,700 clean calories a day, chances are you're going to have to keep eating 2,700 clean calories a day. Do you have to be perfect all the time? No, of course not. You're going to forget to water the garden one day. You're going to go a week without plucking the weeds. You don't have to be 100% all the time, but you got to be at least 90%, 100% of the time. That's what's going to get you to your goals. And if you're not moving towards those goals, if you're not seeing results, if you're not making any progress, then you might need to water your garden just a little bit more. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. As always, please comment below with any questions or tag anyone you think might benefit from this video. Eat clean consistently, work out consistently, maintain your garden, and I'll see you next time on The Last Rep.